Hi, I'm Sue Wall with Comey Shepherd Realtors.
And I'm Sue Miller. We'd like to introduce you to a good friend of ours, Jebb Lyons with Rapid Mortgage.
Happy to be here.
Jebb, why is it important for a loan to close on time?
Mainly it's good for your heart and your liver. So you're not stressed out, so your heart's not pounding out of your chest, and you don't have to drink to calm your nerves so your liver doesn't drown. These are real things. Stress will kill you, and it is very stressful if a loan doesn't close on time. Outside of your health, the reason why you want your loan to close on time, it'll make you a lot more likely to have your offer accepted with the seller. So if you have a pre-approval letter through me, a local licensed loan officer, versus somebody in a call center who knows where, which one do you think the seller is going to be more likely to accept? You've got 3 or 4 different pre-approval letters, especially when I'm calling the listing agent, letting them know we're absolutely going to close the loan on time and update them every week. And some of these pre-approval letters out there, as you know, aren't worth the paper they're written on. So just having your loan close on time is super important to the seller. And we've built, my company that I work for, Rapid Mortgage, we've built a reputation over the last 5 years to always close that loan on time, no matter what. And these sellers, they really care for their clients because they have moving trucks lined up. They have, oftentimes it needs to close so they can do their next transaction. It's a domino effect. Closing the loan on time is super important, and that's our #1 priority in our culture. And when we communicate that to the seller, boom, your client's offer gets accepted more often than not. So it's important for the seller, once again, to have your loan close on time, and it's also important for the buyer. This is what grown people look like, I'm telling you. If your loan doesn't close on time, grown, rational people, I'm not kidding, I've seen it, not with us, but with my competition, people freak out.
So Jebb, after our client gets their offer accepted, what's the next step?
The next step is for me to really find out how much they want to put down, because the type of home that they're buying typically determines how much they want to put down. If it's move-in ready, they don't need to do a thing. A lot of times buyers will want to put down everything. But if it's like me, the last house that I bought off an elderly person, so you know, the location was great and that's what I cared about, but cosmetically we need to do a lot of things. So I put less money down, so I had the money to do those things. And people don't realize you don't have to put 20% down for a mortgage. People don't know that if you put less than 20%, there's private mortgage insurance. Everybody knows that, but they don't know it's based on your credit score. So if you have good credit, the mortgage insurance can be really low and eventually goes away anyway. So I find out how much they want to put down, send them the application, turn in underwriting, we're off and running, ready to order the appraisal and so forth.
Jebb, how long is our client's pre-approval letter good for?
I get asked that all the time. Thank you for asking. The credit report's good for 120 days. So as long as you keep your job, don't finance anything new, I can always get you pre-approved again if you don't find a house within that time frame. But I tell people, once you are under contract, don't finance any furniture. Don't have your credit pulled, because everything counts against your debt ratio. So just don't do anything until the day we close, then you can do whatever you want. But 120 days. And if it's been 3 months and I pre-approved them, I like to give an address-specific pre-approval letter to the agent with that day's date on it. So it's fresh and they're not like concerned, well, this is old.
So Jebb, when is the right time to get pre-approved?
So this is what I tell people. I ask 2 questions. Are you staying in Cincinnati? You should be, because Joe Burrow's here and he's going to dominate. Are you staying in Cincinnati? Do you have a career? So I don't care if it's blue collar or white collar, if those answers are yes, then why are you paying somebody else's mortgage? Get your own place. It just feels good to have your own home. If you have kids, I've seen statistics that are like off the charts of how much, more successful they end up being in their life. If you don't have kids, if you own a home, those dating sites, they love to see people that own a home.
Jebb, interest rates are at an all-time low. How does that translate into more buying power?
So you'll have a lot of people right now that just in their personality, they want to get a deal. They always want a deal. You know, some people are like that. Some people don't care. But for those people, they're like, because the demand is so high right now, the purchase prices are increasing slightly. Okay, it's not significant, but it is an increased purchase price. It's inflated. And people are like, I don't want to pay that. But what they don't understand is, I can show you this right here. So in 2018, on a 30-year fixed, interest rates were like 4.75 or 4.875. So on a $300,000 purchase price, if you put 20% down, your principal and interest payment would be $1,270. Well, right now, interest rates are 3%. So if you pay 10 grand more for that house, you pay $310 instead of $300, what you're going to do right now, your interest or your mortgage payment is only $1,045. It's a $225 difference. So over the course of the term, that's $81,000 that you're saving. People don't usually stay in the house for 30 years, I get that. But even if it's 10 years, it's gonna be 27 grand less that you're paying for that home. So the deal you're getting really is the financing. So that person truly is getting a deal right now, and they need to understand that. And it's hard to grossly overpay for a home because we have to get an appraisal done.
Speaking of low interest rates, Jebb, what recommendations do you have for people that are thinking of refinancing?
The refinancing, my biggest question I have for people is how long do you plan on being in the home? Because your loan amount is going to increase. You know, you have to get title work done, and sometimes you get an appraisal, sometimes you don't. But my biggest thing is, are you gonna stay in the house for a while? And if so, then absolutely I'll look into it. You know, there's no reason to leave money on the table. But that's just the biggest question I always ask is how long you think you're gonna be in the home.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Jebb. We appreciate your knowledge and the service you have provided to many of our clients.
Please feel free to contact Jebb at Rapid Mortgage.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate everybody's time.